new leadership underneath Paul Yan and Avery Logo, all while working on the Call of Duty series, and parent company Activision faced lawsuits over workplace harassment.
WarWu1f was over here mumbling about shit we were talking about before the stream started. Anyways, welcome to Game Talk. I know it's been a hot minute. I said I was going to try to put these out every week, and then shit happened. But I'm back. I'm back! Got WarWu1f here. He was over there mumbling about fucking something. This particular Game Talk, we're gonna cover the Spyro Reignited Trilogy. We already did Crash, and I just always sucked at Crash because I'm not the Crash guy.
I know
WarWu1f's the Crash guy. I'm the Spyro guy. But yeah, I'm starting off. Like I just picked Spyro the Dragon. I mean, I really played. The only one I really played was the first Spyro.
I
never really got hands-on on the other ones. So, it's kind of a first time for me.
First Spyro was the most iconic one. To start up a brand new... Oh yeah, okay, this level.
It's the first level.
Yeah, but the first level of the first game, that's the one that everybody knows. That's
yeah, well, I mean... Maybe we can do a little of everything. Okay, yeah, cool.
Okay, so where do we start with this?
I mean, he started out with the fact that this originally was in PS1 and the graphics were... yeah, we're PlayStation standard graphics back then.
Fucking great for the time. Like, you cannot talk shit about Spyro or Crash. Those two set the standard.
When you go back to the graphics, you look at the graphics, and in the past, you're just like, ew.
I have a PlayStation Classic, and I look at those graphics all the time, and I'm going, damn, these actually look really cool. So.
Oh my god, hit the pot. Thank you. Give me the gems.
So there was a little game that came out way back in 1998 called Spyro the Dragon. And in this game, there was a purple little dude that ran around frying the shit out of all these sheep, and there he was like, I'm gonna get them all, and then there was also some other dragon eggs and stuff that he was trying to grab. But mainly he was just trying to fry them with
You fucking had Jason around all over the place. Yeah.
So, the big, I was going to put this into 3 parts on this Game Talk. First part, the history of Spyro. Second part being the kind of the reboot that they tried to do. And then the third part is now the most recent successful reboot that is, yeah, we'll get there. It's like, it's great that they tried, but then the deals went down. So yeah, Spyro was, it was one of the original games that was made to be a mascot. Crash Bandicoot was already out and was fully fledged the mascot of the PlayStation 1. Spyro was there to basically bring in the other side of the crowd. You know, Crash was the platformer made for all the little boys to be like, hey, there's this cool character on there. Spyro made a little bit more for the I feel, and what I remember it being, not to pick sides or anything, but I feel like Spyro was made as the purple little dragon dude that was awesome, but he was made for kind of female audience. He looks like a little puppy. He's colored purple. He runs around. You don't really know if he's like a little boy or if he's just like a very small little dragon that never grew up or whatever because the magic didn't happen for him. Whatever. He's Spyro. He's cool. Later on, like in this game, he's riding skateboards and such. The first game is a lot different. Never done the skateboarding? Like, come on, you said you played this game. So yeah, it's like, so Spyro, same type of method that Crash Bandicoot does.
Yeah, he said they're doing the chicken dance.
Yeah. So Spyro is set up to is set up very similar to Crash Bandicoot, where you have a world hub and then you go and teleport out to other different worlds and everything. Which a lot of games took that off from Crash Bandicoot. It was a way of making it so that you could do loading screens, that you could really push the hardware and make different worlds happen without just having like you know, like even the island map that Crash
I've missed on this level already.
So then we had 3 major titles. Yeah, see, I told you, fucking Crash. Like Spyro, you know, he's the man that does all the skateboarding stuff. And then Crash is on a motorcycle, and then later on go-kart to take on Mario Kart 64 or whatever the fuck it was. So yeah, like Spyro, 3 major games in the lineup. And oh god, this is gonna be funny about how I'm trying to watch you
skateboard
do all the skateboarding stuff. It doesn't handle exactly like a Tony Hawk game, but this is why they were doing.
I actually might go get the Tony Hawk 1 and 2 eventually. Where'd it go? Ran away.
So yeah, like the original trilogy of this, you can find it in the remasters and everything. We'll get to the remasters in a bit, but this was really when people were kind of like, okay, so people were on the high note with Crash Bandicoot, but they were waiting for the next Crash to be made. Spyro was there to fill in the way. Spyro was doing everything that Crash did. I don't think it did it better. I just think it did it in a different way. You know, Crash was more of a linear set path, you know, kind of a game. Spyro was a little more free roam. You can run around the levels.
Oh, okay, I see. I gotta think Tony Hawk when I'm doing this.
Yeah, like I said, this was the rival Tony Hawk back in the day. So this was also when the lead architect, or I'm pretty sure he's the lead architect of the PS5, Mark Cerny. Also Ted Price, one of the guys who made, you know, like what's it, Ratchet and Clank, all the old Insomniac games. Anyways, he's recently worked on, I do believe, Spyro. I know Mark Cerny worked on, or Spider-Man, sorry, on PS4. I know Mark Cerny also worked on that one too. Like Ted Price, Mark Cerny go back for decades. I know Mark Cerny. He recently was talking about how he worked at Sega before he actually worked on Spyro
really?
for PlayStation. And then he also, not only was he working on Spyro, but he was also working on the actual hardware of the PlayStation. So like Mark is one of those guys. He's always worked on games and the hardware side. He's like knee deep in everything. So the other fun little fact about Spyro, the first game soundtrack is I'm gonna forget his name, but it's the keyboardist for the Police, the old band, the Police, is the one who composed all Spyro 1 soundtrack. And if you had the old PlayStation, PlayStation Underground demo disc, there was a full-on featurette with him where he was talking about, like, he made the Spyro 1 soundtrack in his home studio. And so he was like, one of the funniest things, I don't know why I always remember this, but in the interview, he's like, yeah, it's really cool having this gig and working on video games, because I can yell at my wife, like, sorry, honey, I'm busy, you know, while playing video games. I'm at work right now.
Sorry, I'm doing my job.
So yeah, like, the original trilogy happens. It was one of the most iconic trilogies on the PlayStation. It's, you know, only rivaled by, like, you know, a Tony Hawk or like a Metal Gear or Crash Bandicoot or, you know,
I can give that to Tony Hawk. I played the piss out of the first couple Tony Hawks.
So me myself, I was all Crash Bandicoot, Spyro. I did some Glover, some Croc. I was doing all kind of Pandemonium, like all those. Like Spyro was always there in the in the lineup basically. Whenever a new Spyro came out, it was like family had it. Partly because it's one of the only series that even Mama Wolf, like she would even sit down and play this. And there's very few games that she would actually sit down, you know, sink some time into. Spyro just caught the attention. Purple Dragon again, made for that audience. So then, after the original trilogy, we had a couple other games that came out for like the PS2 era, and they were alright. It was almost like a reboot that they were trying to do for the PS2 era, but this is where the licensing stuff started coming in. So somewheres in the PS2 era, there ended up being a licensing thing that happened to where basically Spyro was trying to be put on the handhelds, like the Game Boys, this and that and the other thing, and Sony was just like, okay, I think it's time to give up the Spyro license. And they ended up selling the Spyro license over to, I'm actually trying to look it up. Yeah, that's when Activision actually got the license. Was back in 2006, it looks like, is when they first, yes, October 10th, 2006 was the first release of a non-PlayStation Studio version of Spyro, which is The Legend of Spyro New Beginning. I remember seeing the Legend of Spyro New Beginning. They made 3 games in 3 years. They were all pretty decent. I don't think they were to the level of the original trilogy, but it was, you know, the team that made them, they were making them as fast as they could possibly make them, and so you got as good as a game as you were going to get out of that. 1 year development cycle, and then boom, out the door. So then after the legendary Spyro series happened, 3 games, 3 years, we didn't see anything. Spyro was gone. The Legend of Spyro, it was on every system, it did alright. Wasn't a huge success hit and everything. At this time, 2006, 2008, we're talking, what, Jak and Daxter I think was out and stuff like that, like Ratchet and Clank was doing big moves. What else? It was then like, I don't know, Halo was big, Gears was big at that time. So there wasn't a lot of room for the Purple Dragon anymore. 10 years goes by. 10 years. A full decade goes by. Console generations. Kids have moved up, are grown up, moved on, and we're having the next, you know, big generation of gamers coming through, of the little ones, and lo and behold, all of a sudden we get a announcement about the Spyro Reignited Trilogy, which you're seeing right here, that would later on, so the discussion around the relaunch of Spyro began as early as 2014.
We'll come back
Andrew House, the then CEO of PlayStation, or Sony Computer Entertainment, basically dropped the bomb of that Spyro would be back. And in 2017, 2018 they released it. Vicarious Visions developed it, and Vicarious Visions did a damn good job. So Vicarious Visions Vicarious Visions and Toys for Bob were responsible for this trilogy that you're seeing right here, and the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy. So it's like, yeah. What you're seeing here with this trilogy is a lot of people that were fans of the original games making their childhood, you know, remaking their childhood. Now, one of the coolest things about this trilogy, they had.
Well, I mean, not my childhood. I mean, I have to go back to Mario Duck Hunt.
Well, what I'm saying though is the people that worked on this was a fan project made by gamers that were fans of the series. Every single one of the people that worked on this game played the game back in the day when they were young, and they were old enough to work on games now. So that's the reason why Crash and Spyro are so good. Like these trilogies were so fucking well made. The same thing goes for
I'm really showing my age there, everybody.
Crash Bandicoot 4 was made on the same level. It's like they had this whole thing. Like Crash 4, the feel of it when you get on that roll and you're bouncing through the level, there is a certain rhythm to that platforming experience that you're having, and they nailed that.
There you go.
Like they nailed it with brand new levels and everything. This Sheila.
Here's your Aussie.
Oi, it's Sheila.
Hiya, Sheila. While you were gone, a bunch of rhinos kicked
It's a
us out of
right
our
Sheila, mate.
houses. It's okay though. Bobby
So,
and I are working on a
this
clever plan to
this
take
trilogy.
it back.
Now get this. Listen carefully on this one. They made this without the source code. So the original source code files, the original how the game is supposed to feel and to dial in the numbers the right way of how the game's supposed to act and feel and everything, that was lost. They didn't keep the records of it because studios move and records get shredded and lost and this and that and the other thing. So none of the textures, none of the sound, none of the music, none of the source code, nothing. They took the original games off from the disc, and they remade it all. This is a proper remaster, but it's a built from the ground up, remade remaster. If you go back and check out the original versions of these games, then you do actually have a mock-up version of the original soundtrack on this game too. Yeah, they did a fucking bang-up, outstanding, amazing job on this Trilogy remaster. It looks and feels just like the originals. Well, it doesn't look. You know what I'm saying. It looks. All the levels and everything are the same levels as the original. All the sound design is the same as the original. They remade that shit by scratch.
Yeah, they just like give it a fresh coating.
And they remade it from scratch in the modern day game engine. That's crazy and amazing that they actually got to look and feel and just play just like the original games as well as they do. That's not like that takes skill, hard work, dedication, and just absolute fans of the franchise to make this trilogy happen and the Crash Bandicoot trilogy. I'm not quite sure if I think the Crash Bandicoot trilogy, there were some people that came through that still had source files for the Crash trilogy. But a lot of the stuff was just like they took the files off from the disc or an ISO, whatever they had, of the original Spyro games, and they ripped all the textures and everything off those games, and they were like, okay, so this is what it looked like, and here's the level design maps and everything else, and here's what the audio sounded like, and then they just remade that shit. Again, without the source code. That's so fucking crazy that it feels this spot on perfect without any source code. Because that means they dialed in, they literally got it like on frame perfect, dialed in. All your muscle memory from the old days. In fact, jump and hit triangle, I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay.
Yes, there we go. The person who actually played the games back in the day.
Yeah,
versus the
well,
person
see,
who
I only played like the first one, so.
I platinumed.
I figured I played something I haven't played yet out of the trilogy for this.
But now oh geez, we're only 20 minutes in. So should we get into the rant part of this?
Sure, yeah, let's go with that shit. I mean, I'm in agreement. We might not see this shit ever again because or anything more because
now we look
being
to the
fucking
future.
assholes.
There's
Microsoft being assholes. Excuse me.
So the future of Spyro. I think we're going to see a Spyro 4. That has been worked on, that's been being worked on for the last like 3 or 4 years ever since this came out, however long it's been out.
Isn't technically Spyro 4 the one where they have the chick, or the other dragon chick?
Well, okay, so Spyro 4 would technically... So, again, it's you know, you have different universes of Spyro here going on. Oh, and I skipped over, my brain always just hard skips over, I forgot to mention Skylanders. Spyro looks like a damn troll in Skylanders, I'm sorry, I cannot consider that to be like a legit
I never
Spyro.
played
It's
it,
like
so
a
I
Spyro
wouldn't know.
rip-off, if anything. It was something about like Spyro gets sucked into another universe with a bunch of other random characters, and he's trying to help out those characters or something with the adventures they're going on or something. He looked like, it didn't look like Spyro. It just looked like this knockout. Like it looked like somebody who was just beginning making mods for PC games made a mod for Skylanders, and that's what they threw in there. That's what it looked like to me. It just didn't.
If you ever forget how to control a
I saw Spyro trying to animate in Skylanders. I'm like, no, that's not Spyro at all. Like, it's so weird.
I'm losing almost 100 gems in this area.
But yeah, so to actually continue with the future of Spyro, so pretty much, yeah, Toys for Bob has now been like, okay, so Toys for Bob and Vicarious Visions are kind of being debunked at this point. Toys for Bob is working on Call of Duty now, and Vicarious Visions is basically just Blizzard. So the license for Crash Bandicoot and Spyro. Well, before I get into that, I will say this: there has been, Hunter and his girlfriend on here. By the way, you go back and you look at this, and like this is all it is pixels.
Oh yeah.
It is just triangles on the screen.
Is it?
And this is fully you know, like actually made from scratch CGI that they made for this. None of this was in the original.
Oh.
This, like,
I thought you thought
was,
my stream was going.
No. Like the original game of this
Yeah.
was made in-game graphics for these cutscenes, basically. So it was just nothing but like pixelated fucking like triangle characters that were doing all these scenes out. And then they came in here and they were like, okay, let's make it CGI, really well done cutscenes. Love it. Absolutely bang up job by everybody who worked on this.
Oh yeah, it looks
and
great.
Like, my God, you can tell it's made by fans. Like what your imagination was doing back in the day is what this game looks like. Which is awesome. Which makes the next part to talk about. You know, that it just makes it hard to talk about because it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
So Spyro 4 is most likely a thing. It's been worked on for so long. I've been hearing about it for like a few years now. I'm pretty sure Spyro 4 is going to be a thing that's going to come out as like a true successor to this trilogy that we have here on stream. Now, the big elephant in the room is Microsoft buying out Activision Blizzard. Spyro's license was in that deal. It is now Spyro and Crash are both now. They went from PlayStation mascots to now owned by Microsoft, basically a rival.
You. I was gonna say why did they let it fucking happen?
So from what I've actually heard on the business side of things is that because of all the lawsuits that were going down. Okay, so Microsoft's last transaction with ZeniMax was for $8 billion.
Jesus Christ.
Activision Blizzard was $68 billion.
Oof.
This is one of the biggest transactions of video game history, that Microsoft buying out Activision, because they bought out a publisher which has so many damn licenses to it, so many games, so much microtransaction stuff, so much player base. Does this Okay, so the biggest question in the room is, will we see a new Spyro game made that is like, you know, made by Microsoft and whoever would be making, like, I don't even know who the hell would be working on Crash and Spyro because the teams that made these trilogies are defunct basically. They're like no more. They're working on other projects now. They don't. They're working on Call of Duty and they're working on. I'm guessing Blizzard. They're working on World of Warcraft because or Overwatch, I guess, would be probably.
I would like to see another Warcraft RPG.
So it's like, okay, so where is Spyro and Crash going to end up on the game?
Oh, you pain in my ass.
You're going to see this trilogy, you're going to see maybe Spyro 4 if they actually do decide to fully release it, which they should because it's been worked on for 3 or 4 years. That would be a big cash cow for Xbox. It'd be stupid if they didn't release it. I don't know if they ever finished it up or not.
They're fight.
Oh my god.
I got it. I got it figured out. I know what to do. I'm hitting the wrong damn button.
This is. I just want to take control over this thing. Oh my god.
Got him.
Wow. I'd be sweating over here. So, where are we going to see Spyro in the future?
Ooh.
Game Pass and
yeah,
probably just the backlog, and that's about it. That's the saddest part of this whole thing. We just, after 10 years, a little over 10 years, what? Well, no, yeah, after 10 years, and then 4 years of waiting, almost going on 5 years of waiting to get a brand new Spyro game, and now this whole deal between Microsoft and Activision happens, and it's just like, and the studios are gone.
It's
now
just
that
so
made
saddening.
I mean, 14 years of players and content creators, because I mean, the player base that grew up with this, we are now content creators, we are now game developers, we are now working in stores, we are now the consumer. We are now the ones that are buying these games.
What the hell do you
What
want?
If it isn't my favorite dragon, the sorceress
so,
will be in charge of guarding these bellows. However,
I mean, the saddest part of it is, like, okay, sure, you're going to have your Spyro Reignited trilogy in Game Pass for a very cheap price. Awesome.
precious.
What about the next game? So the track record, the reason why that question comes up is because the track record of Microsoft is that basically they just take everything and do the backlog on Game Pass, and that's about all they are amounting to right now. Are they going to bring in somebody else, another team, to try and keep Crash and Spyro going? I mean, at this point, it's like, why would they?
Oops. I was on the lights and I turned around.
Wow. That was the old PS1.
Accidents happen.
Yeah, that's. My God, I already had this level cleared out by now.
Yeah, Mr. fucking speedrunner.
So yeah, the future of Spyro is kind of a bleak one once again after everybody made videos and just the outpouring of fan support to get this damn trilogy back and Crash Bandicoot. I was the Crash Bandicoot like because I didn't know if we could even get Spyro back. I was just like, I don't know if anybody would like touch Spyro because the Skylanders thing. And to me, it was just like it was a done deal. Spyro was gone because he had, you know, piss poor reviews on Skylanders, even though that wasn't really truly Spyro at all. And then this trilogy comes out, and you know, finally, like the fucking somebody listened, basically. You know, it's like finally we have, like, after a decade and multiple consoles and everything, we finally have Crash and Spyro back. Yes, all right, we had this.
Of course,
like,
I just
couple...
fucking slip off the edge.
Wow.
The cameras can be funny at times.
On the camera. Yeah, oh yeah, blame on the camera. Yeah.
And the controls are much more smoother than most games that I'm used to playing.
This is also running at 60 FPS too, which is like actually, I think the old ones on the PS1, I'm pretty sure also ran at 60 FPS, but just the fact that this is a modern day version of the game and it still runs at 60 block, that's pretty damn good. guess, the flying levels. Yeah, it's flying levels.
Yeah, except I gotta hold down the fly button when I'm doing it or whatever.
You got to...
Oh, you little bastard! You're back for more.
you gotta not... You have to go through the... Go through the archway and not land. I'm pretty sure.
Where did you go? Yeah, he like disappeared. I'm running circles around the frickin'...
Wow. Wow. So easy to lose it. Oh no. Oh no. Oh god.
Here, you little bastard. Came around that corner and he was just gone.
The other thing that we just kind of lost too is we were getting very close. So Spyro ended up in CTR, Crash Team Racing, the new remaster of CTR. Spyro actually ended up as a crossover character in a Crash Bandicoot game. The other thing that we all wanted was a Crash and Spyro crossover to happen in like a dedicated crossover game. We're never going to see that happen now. That was the other big, like, oh no. And it just comes down to like, the reason why the deal went down is, again, because there's lawsuits happening in Activision, so they had Microsoft got one hell of a good fucking settlement deal because of all the lawsuits that were happening, so they were just like the worth of Activision was very low, plus on top of that people were being like, oh, boycott the games and everything, which, of course, that turns, surprised you didn't have that right there.
Yeah, I know, I hit the torch button and I should have hit him. I guess I gotta actually fucking
like,
hit him.
You must have been like just a hair off that hitbox. Holy shit.
Or do you actually have to fucking ram them?
No, you can blowtorch every single one of them. You just have to be good enough to catch them.
Sure, I can catch him.
But yeah, like the lawsuits and everything that was going on at Activision, and that's where Microsoft was like, okay, this is gonna be a damn good deal. We're gonna get it for a nice sum of money, and yeah, we're gonna have all this. So then
the rest
Spyro
of the
and
stream
Crash,
just chasing this dude down over the egg.
Spyro and Crash become part of the monopoly, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It's like shit.
And it's shitty.
It's like if it was another company, got him. Like I really even okay. So even if it was Sony, I wouldn't want them buying out. Like if they wanted to buy out the licenses for Crash and Spyro itself, that'd be cool. All right, go ahead. Fucking they come back home.
Yeah.
That's just licenses. It's like if they wanted to buy out Toys for Bob and Vicarious Visions, that's two development teams. What Microsoft just went and pulled off was publishers, which is like publishers own a giant chunk of the industry overall. Where Sony, I mean, this is part of, so Spyro is part of Sony's legacy that they created. Not just, they didn't buy this shit. Sony created Crash and Spyro, and the Xbox fanboys can be like, hey, we have it over on here. Yeah, but the thing is, there's 3 games, right? There's 3 series, maybe 4 series, that Microsoft made over the years. A Forza, a Halo, a Gears, and a Flight Sim. Those series Microsoft made, sure.
You want this doodad?
That's 4 series within the last, what? How long has Windows been out for? You know, it's like that's the legacy that Microsoft is looking to have of buying out the rest of the industry so they can have Game Pass. Where Sony's over there still like grabbing studios and being like, here, make a brand new franchise and we will fund you to make that brand new franchise. That's why I'm like, man, if Spyro and Crash came back towards the PlayStation from a deal or whatever the hell, it would literally just be like Spyro and Crash are 2 franchises that Sony helped build the industry with.
Mm-hmm.
Like Microsoft can buy those licenses, they can buy these characters, but guess what? This is still Sony's legacy. It doesn't matter what you do, Microsoft. It's
Yeah.
still the development teams made this shit to sell the console. That is your rival now.
I don't understand when Microsoft's all like, "Oh, we're done making video, we're done making consoles and shit." Why the fuck did you? Why are you doing what you're doing? I mean,
It's because Microsoft is. I mean, this is getting away from Spyro.
Yeah.
You know, but
screw it, you know. Might as well try to push a couple more minutes out of this. We're already at like 5 minutes over.
I feel like Spyro is part of this conversation though of like, so Microsoft is they don't care about Xbox. Microsoft, like the Xbox is just Game Pass. The Xbox, like the box itself, is just a portal for Game Pass. What Microsoft is trying to do is they're trying to pad Game Pass with third-party titles that they did not build. They're just bought. So they're trying to buy out the attention span of the gaming industry, where Sony is turning around and they are just building brand new worlds. They're building brand new experiences. They are creating new shit that is making people go, "Holy fuck, that was awesome." There's a reason why you have a Horizon Forbidden West coming out. There's a reason why you have a God of War Ragnarok coming out. There's a reason why you might end up seeing Uncharted come back in the future. There's a reason why you have a new Gran Turismo coming out. Again, Microsoft has a few handfuls of franchises themselves, but if you look at, okay, so Gears of War, who made Gears of War? Like, even their first-party Xbox Studio titles. And I can talk about Xbox Studio titles because guess what? Now Spyro is technically an Xbox Studio title. Like, this still ties into what you're seeing on the screen right now. Gears of War was made by Cliff Bleszinski, right? Okay. Now, so Fortnite is one of the biggest things. Cliff Bleszinski made Fortnite also, like he's part of the reason why Fortnite exists and everything. So Gears of War, sure, is made underneath the Xbox brand everybody looks at, but guess what he was making that originally for? The PC. Not even for the box. He made, like, Gears was originally made really for the PC, and then Microsoft was coming out with the Xbox, so then they shifted it over to being a console game. Same thing happened with Halo. Same fucking thing happened with Halo. Like, we all know the story of like, oh, Halo was made for console, so then that people would play first-person shooters with a controller. And then of course Call of Duty came along and like revolutionized the, how the button system works, basically. It's just like I said, it's just like it's this weird thing of like they bought Spyro just to get your attention span over on the Game Pass, not to make new Spyros, but to take the backlog and add it to Game Pass. And that's what pisses me off the most about the deal. It's like if Spyro and Crash were over on the PlayStation, I would be expecting a new game, because that's what Sony does. Like I would be expecting a new game with DualSense, maybe in a VR mode or something. I'd be expecting fucking like fastest load times ever, the biggest ray tracing ever to happen, this and that and the other thing. Of like, it's gonna fucking connect to your PS Vita for some reason or whatever. I don't know, like whatever. It's the innovation. It's the brand new titles being made. With Microsoft, I'm just like, okay, so we're going to see Spyro show up in Game Pass in the future, and you're going to be able to play the Spyro, the original 3 Spyro games in the future on Game Pass. Maybe we'll see Spyro 4 come out, if that's what they call it, I don't know. But the next, we might see one more new Spyro game that's been in the works forever, but they just bought out. Like, it's not even Microsoft's project. They just bought the license for it. They were Activision's project. Are they going to market it as a PlayStation Studio title? Of course they will, because they now own the license for it. Like, And that's one of those things, like, people have been saying, like, Sony is arrogant and whatnot, but then Spyro gets bought over to, you know, because of a fucking publisher purchase, just some circumstance, Spyro is now owned by Microsoft. But Sony's arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like Microsoft was like, Purple Dragon is fucking marketable, we can do something with it. No, it's more or less just like, oh, this trilogy sold really well, so we're going to put it in our player base, and now nobody else can have it. I mean, is that not arrogance?
Yeah. Kinda is. Come on, let me go on a fucking ledge if I did that.
Yeah, it's, like I said, the future for Spyro,
Damn it.
we have at least one more good run with Spyro, and then that next, like the next Spyro game, if it comes out, because again, the team that was making it has been pretty much put on the sideline as a support team.
Hmm.
Is it a skeleton crew still working on it? Is it even going to come out? Is it going to get finished? I don't know. I actually don't know. It's hard to say right there, because all of it, like, we heard about that stuff, and then all of a sudden we started hearing about, you know, we heard about the team becoming a support team for basically like Call of Duty games and shit. And then after that, it was like Game Awards of this past year. It was like, okay, are we going to see Spyro? If we don't see Spyro, then we gotta start worrying. There was no Spyro announcement.
Yeah. I don't blame you there.
3 years. On the 4th year, the game should be done and be ready to go. It's like 4-year development cycles for you know, big projects like that. So it's like, okay, well, now Microsoft owns this thing, and we've seen what happened to like Perfect Dark, we've seen what happened to Killer Instinct, we've seen what happened to Fable,
my god,
we've seen
yeah,
what
Perfect
to
Dark.
I mean, Perfect Dark is
I
making a comeback.
freaking forgot about that.
But they have announced that they're making a, I think it's a reboot or a remaster or something of Perfect Dark 1. They are going to be trying to do something with that. Is it going to actually happen? We don't know. It's just been announced. They showed one little trailer clip of Joanna, pretty sure that's what her name is. Like, it's like looking over her shoulder, just so you know that it is her.
Hmm.
No gameplay,
Nope.
just a CGI
Nope.
trailer.
Aww.
Basically just something enough to get you to go, oh, Perfect Dark's on Game Pass. I'm gonna go get Game Pass. I hope there's something in the works with it, but
I think,
I don't know.
well, I mean, they did have it on Xbox before the Perfect Dark. I think it was in that. Yeah, it was in the Rareware collection.
Yeah, because they bought out Rare, and what was the last game that Rare put out?
Which pisses me off, though. The whole thing was like they didn't even have like the one game that would 100% sold that. Come on now. Made by Rare.
But the thing is what did they do with Rare? Like, what has Rare made? Like, I don't give a fuck about the Rare collection. Okay, sure, you can play those games on emulator, whatever. Sure, cool. The Rare collection's on Game Pass. The old fucking nostalgia box. Nice. Where's a new Conker's fucking furry asshole day? Where's a new fucking Perfect Dark? What else is Rare make? I think Banjo-Kazooie made by Rare, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, the Banjo-Kazooies.
Where's those games? They took them from Nintendo, and what the fuck have they done with them?
Yay! My portal is working.
Tell me when they're coming out with a new Banjo-Kazooie. Show me that announcement that they're making a new one.
Yeah.
They've had the Rare license. Let me actually look this up. How long has Microsoft owned Rare for?
If you could bring back one person
Rare, it's
into
what,
our
Rare
fine
games,
walls,
right? List of Rare games. Rare Ltd. Video game developers. Microsoft acquired Rare in 2002.
Damn.
Has since focused on developing games exclusive to Microsoft.
Look at all that when I fucking
console.
graduated.
So they made a. Let's see here. Sea of Thieves is like the only thing Rare's really put out. Rare Replay and Sea of Thieves since 2002.
While I was gone, my friends borrowed the.
Several Rare's employees left to form their own companies, such as Free Radical Design, best known for producing Time Square series, Playtonic Games, best known for Ukulele. Microsoft bought them out in 2002 and they didn't do a damn thing with them.
What, Rare did Ukulele?
No, the people that left Rare because they couldn't make a game, went and made their own studio outside of Microsoft and made Ukulele. This is what I mean. It's like, like the whole Rare thing is the reason why I'm just like, fuck, man. We just got Crash and Spyro back, and now we lost them again. We lost them to the Microsoft ecosystem where it was just like, well, here's our nostalgia, here's our Game Pass. I subscribe to Game Pass. I'm not against Game Pass. I'm against Microsoft business practice of buying shit and just throwing it onto the Game Pass.
If you want a quick
Like,
summary
if
of
they
the
want to make a
progress
brand new Crash and Spyro game and put it on Game Pass where I can play it day one for a cheap price, that's cool. But also pay the fucking developers so we can have a brand new game made. Again, what I've been saying about Game Pass, the business model of Game Pass does not work for the future of the business because there's no funding that comes out of it in the long run. If this trilogy, this trilogy is on Game Pass and it doesn't flip a fucking profit, right? Why would they make a brand new Spyro game? Unless everybody is buying and playing through this trilogy, and then they end up actually buying the full trilogy. Where's your profit at?
Yeah, exactly.
Like you need
You're
to
gonna
have
get a profit off. Everybody's just gonna be like, "Oh look, I can play all 3 games for $1." That's the biggest thing. That was my thing too. Is they're gonna be like one of the biggest fucking things that's going on with all this shit. If they're all this shit on Game Pass, a lot of these places are gonna have to go bankrupt because they're gonna be making any money anymore.
Well, they become support studios for a Gears of War, for a Halo, for a Horizon, for a Forza, for Sea of Thieves. Which is a damn disgrace because now what they can do on their own projects is just...
Nope, you can't work on your own project anymore. You gotta work on our shit. Nah. I kind of want to sit here and go watch how well that works out, Microsoft.
I mean, it works out from... That's the only way it does work out for them. Is when they're buying Game Pass, it works out for Microsoft. What it doesn't work out for is indie developers that might be wanting to make, get like 3-pointers from the Crash and Spyro team and make something like a Crash and Spyro. I'm pretty sure Microsoft doesn't want their employees, helping out the competition of an indie studio. Here is a take from a certain indie developer who owns his own indie studio. He goes, if Game Pass has all these nostalgic titles that are like big budget AAA nostalgic titles on there, what chance does my studio have to really make a dent or an impact around that? People look at a brand new indie title and they go, I got this game over here that's a bigger budget, more polished game. What that's going to do is drive the indie titles either over to Nintendo or PlayStation. I would say probably more Nintendo.
We're going to get a bunch of new shit. That might be hit or miss shit. over here on the
And this is like, as I've said in other videos too. So okay, so say a new Spyro comes out and it's not that great because it's not made by the same team that made that made this trilogy here. If the internet goes, boo, I don't like it, or if they go into the trilogy just being like, you know how the internet gets, where it's like they go into it pre-hating the thing before they even try it. You know Microsoft listens to that stuff. And if they go into, if Microsoft sees that the internet is going into this thing of like pre-hating it, there's no fucking way they're going to fund another game. Especially if they don't make return on profit. Now here's the other thing of somebody else was saying that knows a lot of game publisher people. On the Game Pass model, it's not that you need to break even, it's that you need to make a profit. If the thing is not profitable, like if you break even, that's still a loss, technically. If you make profit, then okay. Cool. If you make a lot of profit, then you're guaranteed to have a new game. The amount of games that actually make a lot of profit are usually only like the big blockbuster fucking AAA stuff. Like Crash Bandicoot would have more of a chance of having a brand new game than Spyro would. I hate to say it, but Crash sells more than Spyro. Just the way it goes. It's just the way it goes. I really wish they sold the same, but Crash Bandicoot, for whatever reason, sells. I mean, fucking Crash Bandicoot's the only one that can outsell Call of Duty. We've seen it. We just watched it with the Insane Trilogy. So, your chances of Spyro getting made are about as good as Rare making a brand new Banjo-Kazooie. That's the reality.
Are we making GoldenEye?
Well, they can't remake. They can't make new GoldenEye, or well, not new GoldenEye. They can't remake GoldenEye just because that's got licensing issues all over the goddamn thing. They have to, like, Microsoft would have to put up the bill for the James Bond license. They would have to put up the bill for any music that or product placements that are in it, or whatever else that might be in it. The likeness of, they have to put up they have to fit the bill for the likeness of Pierce Bronson in GoldenEye, I'm pretty sure it's 007, and anyone else who's in that also has licensing fees too. That appears in it. There's a reason why Judgment there, that Yakuza kind of game there that's about the lawyer and everything. They're having a hell of a time actually making another one of those games because the dude that stars in the game is throwing a shit fit about licensing issues of the game going to a PC. He doesn't want his likeness on the PC in the game, so there's like he's trying to sue them over that. It's in a breach of contract or something like that. It's a lot of stuff like that happens. And the fact that we had finally gotten Crash and Spyro back with all the legal stuff that has to go through and everything, now it's stuck in Game Pass. It's like, fuck, man. Unless Microsoft changes dramatically and all of a sudden they're just like, they are throwing millions of dollars into, doing something with their fucking licenses. The track record says otherwise, but,
Yeah. Anywho, so, kind of went overboard on this. I was going to push 45 minutes out of it, and we had to do almost an hour. Wrap this little cutscene up here. And, last minute remarks, stuff like that. Personally, I love it. I love how it's the graphics got completely redone on it and everything.
Yes, the trilogy
for what
is awesome.
For how much you can pay for it right now, it's worth picking up. I mean, it's good old fun, especially if you didn't get to play this game back when you were a kid, or if you're a kid now and you're watching this and you're looking for something new to play. There you go. I mean, look at me. I'm old as dirt, and I'm going back and playing this game.
Just because they're classic.
Yeah.
They're absolutely 100% just top of the line classics, nostalgia out the wazoo, 90s fun. There's nothing overthought. It's just the game is just happy. I mean, look at this cutscene right here. And you get any more 90s in this cutscene.
But yeah, definitely worth checking it out, in my opinion.
When I heard the sorceress was
So,
planning to ambush you, I got here
would
as
you wait
fast
for a
as I
sale or
could.
would you wait
No
for it on
worries,
Game
though.
Pass?
This wussy green toad will be
I mean,
no
I picked it
match
up for like
the two of
$16
us.
at GameStop. So, I mean,
If you have a disc drive, if you're all digital, that's cool. Like,
I mean, it's probably even cheap on the thing right now. What do you?
it's a funny part of the whole thing.
I mean, I
is-
don't think this is ever gonna go on. Oh, I see. Freaking Super Mario great shit.
Like the whole thing of it is though, is like, do you think we're gonna be seeing Activision publisher sales anymore?
Probably
Any of the
not.
networks?
We're probably
Not
not. So,
publisher
I mean,
anymore, they're
you're
own.
probably definitely not gonna see this on Game Pass. So, I mean, your best bet is go look. Ooh, no, you almost got me.
And that's the problem with the Game Pass. So it's like, okay, now we want a new game made. Oh shit. The development team isn't even there anymore. Oh, okay. Like I said, this trilogy is, I mean, if you're looking for something to crash with Spyro, this trilogy is probably your last best bet for Spyro. If Spyro 4 comes out, then definitely, hopefully
Yeah.
it's going to be great, because it is still like made by that old team, the one that made this trilogy. After that, though, like, just take it all in, basically. Take this trilogy and use Spyro stuff. Like,
Shit.
take it all in, because this is going to be the last. I hate to say it, unless Microsoft wants to try and prove me wrong, which I what they do. Yeah. Again, this trilogy is now so bittersweet. It kind of hurts. Very easy platinum though. Congratulations.
What the fuck am I supposed? Okay, whatever. But yeah, that was our game talk on this. Sorry it went into. I mean, it was a good idea to go into that whole Activision buyout shit conversation too. I mean, get it out of the way. I know you did a game talk. You did your Let's Talk on it. I wasn't there for it, but yeah. You guys know where to find us, right? Hopefully you do. If not, you can find WarWu1f there at WarWu1f on everything. Why the fuck are you being a dick? At WarWu1f on everything. MB, Frost_Bite84 at Twitch and Twitter, and at Frostbite over on the YouTube. And I'm fucking done. I'll come back to this. But yeah. So until next time, everybody, stay frosty.